Welcome to this Safing announcement video. I'm Raphael.
And I'm Victor from IVPN, responsible for operations.
And we have a fairly big announcement to make. This is a short summary in the beginning. We will quickly go through the key points and we will have a longer conversation afterwards going into details. So if you're curious, keep watching, but here are the key facts. The big one is IVPN has acquired Safing. And we wanted to take this time to quickly tell you about the why, the how, and yeah, I'd like to get the 1 point straight. Trust is very high. We have gotten to learn and get to know the team and have trusted them for the whole process. And I think if you can trust us, you should absolutely be capable of trusting IVPN. But Victor,
that sounds good.
Why? Why can people trust IVPN?
Yeah, so I'm here in Vienna in offices that we signed this acquisition yesterday, and I wanted to take this opportunity as well to be in front of this, and because I think the building trust will be very, very important here. You will trust us with your data. If you don't know IVPN yet, I would like to invite you to look into us, go to our website, read our policies. We are quite radical, very transparent about everything. So I hope that you will be pleasantly surprised if you don't know IVPN. And if you have any questions about our operations, anything, you can go to and ask our customer service staff, or you can come to me, and we will be very open and transparent throughout this whole process of starting to operate Safing and specifically Portmaster and the SPN. And the other key point from me is that there will be no surprises, so no big changes, no changes in policies, no logs, and no changes in the plans. We will do our best to honor all the promises that you got from Raphael and Daniel, and continue with a similar conduct, and just keep improving Portmaster and provide a high quality of service.
Super cool. Yeah. So again, you already mentioned, if you have questions, there will be a Q&A in the coming weeks and later, at least one. So ask those questions. If you have anything, ask them. At least one of those will be live, so you can also join us there. And keep on watching. We have gone through lots of things, and this might answer most of your questions anyway. But if you don't, just hit us up in the Discord via mail and let us know what your questions are. So
that's right. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm here in the Safing offices.
For the first time?
Yes, I've been in Vienna for a day, and yesterday we have done some work together. Yeah,
we did. Then let me go into a small history lesson here for everybody. IVPN has had some super cool pull requests in the Safing code. I think this was over half a year ago. And I know some of the people in the community have heard about this, that we have been in contact with a VPN. We did not share it, who it was, but it was IVPN.
That's
right. The pull requests were very deep in the code and they were very good. And so we wanted to reach out and figure out how we can collaborate and work together. I think everybody in the community knows how we have had our fair share of people asking about VPN support. Are we good with VPNs? And exactly. So we think we are. We hope we are. And throughout this.
Yeah, and from that point, we were really just trying to understand how we can work together.
Exactly.
And had different conversations, and we've been fans of Safing and the Portmaster and the SPN. We've been following the developments for years now, so it was very, very nice to get acquainted more and be a little bit more friendly with each other. So
yeah, absolutely. And so throughout that conversation, what we figured out was that IVPN would be in the best position to take basically Portmaster and lift it up to new heights. Take SPN and with their infrastructure, what they already have, which they already have tons of experience, and lift it to new heights. And so what we're announcing today is that IVPN actually is, by this day already, in charge of Portmaster. They're in control, and Safing now is a sister company to IVPN.
Something like that. Yeah, we can go into the details, but yeah. So it's Safing is going to be run, and Portmaster is going to be run by the same team as IVPN.
Yeah.
Same owner, same management, and same staff. So all the colleagues, and yeah, we are also going to be hiring for this to expand a little bit. But yeah, we can go more into the details of that. But yeah, we are very happy about that. And we are very excited to take on this responsibility, and yeah. So just wanted to thank you, as like you've been working on this for a long time. I know I've watched some of your lives earlier and this year as well, of course, and I know that you put a lot of effort and a lot of time into it. And yeah, we are just very respectful of your previous work, and yeah, we'll really try to make a very good effort on taking good care of that, and yeah, improve the product and just go take what you have done and continue in the same path forward. So
yeah,
we really appreciate your and Daniel's work as well.
Thank you. No, you touched on this as well. It has been us getting to know each other over the past months, and from our perspective, maybe to quickly get this in here as well, we are not gone.
Yep.
But we are not in charge anymore. So the beauty of open source, the beauty of this community is, the privacy community in general, more eyes are always better on code, on how things are built. And I hope that you all see this as a positive as well. For us, speaking Daniel and me, we saw this as a win-win-win situation where Daniel and I, who have been a little bit over our heads. I think people who have seen David leave and who have seen the current situation have at least vaguely maybe seen this as well. And we did not set out to sort of like get rid of Safing, but we wanted to collaborate, and we wanted to we knew we are not infrastructure people, we're developers. We are security people. We're not, finance and in that regard, like the account system and stuff like that. But you all have all those people. Yep. So from our perspective, it is a win that all this expertise comes in. We think for all the current community, the Portmaster people, for you it's a win because you can rest assured that there is a bigger company which is very trusted. I think for many people in the Discord, if you look for IVPN, there are many and only positive mentions about them. So we have felt very comfortable with IVPN. And I hope it's a positive for you as well, because Definitely. You're expanding into more and broader and resist online surveillance in more ways. So maybe it's a good spot for me to talk a little bit more about IVPN and then these plans, how this all comes together. So some of the viewers probably know IVPN, but maybe some just heard about it first, and they are customers of Safing and use Portmaster. If I would be in that position at this point, I would be kind of like, okay, who are these guys? What are they going to do with my data? And just so like the question of why trust us. And I think we have a very good track record in the privacy community. IVPN has been around for almost 15 years now, and the owner of the company is called Nicolas Pastel. You can look up all this information. You can go on our website. We are very transparent about all of this, and we have at this point we have 13 people in our team, distributed mostly around Europe. And we are not your run-of-the-mill average VPN company. So like we are pretty much focused on the privacy use cases, and we are very hardcore about a lot of things like not asking for email, supporting. You can pay with cash. We try to build up things in a way that we know as little about you as possible, which is good for us and good for you. And we are very honest, transparent, like radically, we have a page on our website that is about ethics, what we don't do. We don't do surveillance ads, we don't do bullshit email marketing, any kind of things. We haven't done a Black Friday deal for a while now, and that's one of the reasons. So
yeah, we are pretty,
radical. And I
radical,
agree.
yeah.
Also, in regards to information about drawbacks of VPNs, IVPN has very good resources, very honest resources. Where I found competitors are sometimes downplaying the issues VPN technology has. IVPN is very transparent and very honest about this, and I think that's also the reason why Privacy Guides has them on their list, and why our community trusts them as well. I feel like from an ethics perspective, there's a very, very good fit, and we felt this from basically the beginning. So
that's very nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, and we were not like with the pull request. I guess there was a short period where we were not sure if we should be scared about this, because it was like, programmers will know this. If it's very deep into the code, you already have to understand the code very well. And so we knew, okay, whoever did this understood it well, and it was multiple, so they spent some serious time in this. And we were less scared when we knew it's another privacy company that is trusted, And then after reaching out and you being responsive, that it like was super cool. And so our trust extends, of course, as well, like that those ethics will continue in Portmaster, will continue in the SPN, and that people who are trusting us can trust you for the future as well.
Really happy that you arrived to that point to say that in the stream. I'm very glad. I think it means that we are doing a good job. I think I can share that when we were talking about this recording. It's like, and I said this before, I think on podcasts, like my job is pretty easy because I have nothing to hide, and I don't have to like dress up anything or sugarcoat anything. We are very transparent about like everything that we do and how we do it and why we do it, and it's just easy. We just sit down and talk. Like there's nothing like we have to come up with a plan to how to formulate this whole thing. Just come here, look into each other's eyes, talk about it, and just like press record and do this. So that's fun.
We'll see if this take makes it into the live, or if we.
We'll see.
But then, if you want to go into your reasoning why acquiring Portmaster, I think that's also important, because I said from our perspective, we saw it as being positive for the development of Portmaster, and positive for also a little bit our stress levels, Daniel and me, which is of course a concern for our community as well. If they see, and when David left, people have been asking, well, how long are the two of them going to be able to continue? You don't have to be scared about this anymore. We have seen this coming throughout the months, but in the beginning we were not sure. Exactly. And this was not on the table from the beginning. So how did you arrive? At what point did it make click for you and you were like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Acquiring Safing is better than just trying to collaborate and have this other type of relation.
That's an interesting question. Like the exact when, that's how to say. But what I can recall about this is like we've been. So first is we've known your company and product. The SPN was on our radar. I was really interested in like the first iterations of your blog post, like comparing it with VPNs, and that was really interesting. I was really tracking your progress with that, and also then I think you started to shift more of effort on the Portmaster.
Yeah.
I was testing that. I didn't use it like day to day, but I've been checking on it from time to time. And so as far as IVPN goes, you pointed out my T-shirt, like this whole resist online surveillance. We've been thinking about that with Nick, the IVPN CEO, so that part is interesting because we have the VPN and we've been thinking about maybe adding more complementary services. And this whole network controls theme is very interesting. So what can you do with the DNS? What can you do with a firewall kind of thing? And it just all makes sense that if you piece this together as a puzzle, the more control that you can give to people over these elements of their connections, I think that's a very good mission and aligns with this whole resist online surveillance stuff. There would have been possible to go into a different direction. So some VPN companies, they do this like, let's, challenge Google, and do with the large scale stuff like with the Drive and Calendar and all this kind of stuff. We didn't want to go into that direction. It's not really in our, base things that we care about as much, and also our expertise, and also it's like it's a big challenge. So
yeah, and I understand, like when you're talking into this direction, it is different. Currently, like VPN is network infrastructure, SPN is network infrastructure, a firewall is network infrastructure.
Exactly.
You mentioned DNS, which Portmaster does as well. It's network infrastructure. You have to. This is all very similar to a certain degree.
Exactly.
And so I understand it much better, and I assume your team as well. And so from that perspective, also you're always then in the business of getting rid of data. You mentioned a drive. The drive is storing data, so the complete opposite. And I so understand.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so basically you said, well, we're in this resisting online surveillance, promoting privacy. This is something that fits into this. So this would build a suit which is different than what others do, but it fits your goal very well.
Yes.
Super cool.
Yeah. So and we've been thinking about developing something like Portmaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be very frank. In those conversations, I was like, yeah, if I look at the market, there is a very clear, leader in terms of like the product development and its maturity and reliability. And we concluded that, okay, we could get there, build something similar or that fulfills the similar needs, I would say. But when we started talking with you, it became very apparent that joining forces in some way and then, arriving to the conclusion that maybe we could make an acquisition offer, that just made perfect sense as like the evolution of this idea and our whole strategic point of view as well. So yeah, we are very happy that we could arrive here from that point to yesterday, then signing the relevant papers and everything else. That was fun. So
and it was a long journey. Again, we did not set out, neither we nor you set out to actually do it like this. But it was. I also agree. It has been a journey, and I think it has been a good one. And something, because we had this journey, I think it's a good spot to mention this as well. We got to know, especially Victor, we both got to know each other very well throughout the last months. And I feel like the whole IVPN team is very much like standing behind this. I don't know how many interviews you have been given where people have had that much contact with you over this period of time. But
not a lot.
Again, I will stay part of the community. You can hit me up on Discord. We will do also Q&A. So maybe watch out for this. And I will be available to answer questions. And I hope that you can get to know the IVPN team as well as I got to know them. And if you don't trust them yet, learn that they're very cool people who actually live for this and don't take shortcuts as well in that regard, and actually go the extra mile to make sure that it is privacy preserving and stuff like that. And super cool.
I appreciate the nice words on that.
And I know how difficult it is. We have done this. We've thought about stuff like this. Account creation, what data you need. We also, Safing also accepts cash. And it's also, we have had similar issues, and seeing that you've made similar decisions to us. Of course, every company is a little bit different with the location, stuff like this, where different stuff makes more and less sense, but it's hard sometimes to make this decision, make this call, and go forth with it, because you see how you could make more money if you do it different, how you could, I don't know, make it easier for the people, make them jump through less hoops, less support requests, and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Password resets.
Make them hard to cancel and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. But for me, like again, password resets. If you don't require an email, so hard, and you will probably get emails where people are like, "Oh, I lost my password. Please reset it." And it is more hassle. It is more hassle, and you're saying, well, privacy is important, and we want to take on that.
Yeah, we want to get all these elements right. That's right. I think maybe it's a good point to say that, like, just be assured, none of the policies are going to change for Safing and Portmaster. If they are going to change, they are going to be more restrictive if possible. We haven't talked about this, but like, if anything happens, so, and you can look into IVPN, you can look into our privacy policy. It's a very short, clear and clean. And you can look into our interviews and track records, and everything that applies to IVPN right now will apply to Portmaster and safing in the future.
Yeah.
And I invite you, please look into IVPN if you are concerned about anything, and you can just email our support as well, or email myself. I'm Victor with a K. You can see it on the screen at ivpn.net. Very happy to answer any questions about IVPN or Portmaster. Our customer service staff will be more knowledgeable about IVPN at this point, but I think we can talk about the handover part later. Yeah.
But it's and I think that's then to add, this will not happen in the next 2-3 months. So safing and Portmaster will basically stay very similar as it is. And I know we have been teasing a lot of stuff for the last couple of months. Part of why this has not shipped yet was because with the handover in mind already, we were thinking, okay, good, V2 Portmaster, we would love to use this opportunity to get the people who are continuing to working on it, understanding what we did, why we did it, where we came from, and all of this, so that the handover is as smooth as possible, and that I already have heard a couple of things about where Portmaster is going on the leadership of IVPN, which I'm very excited about. And we have been working towards this, making this easier as well. So I think don't expect too many changes with Portmaster in the next month or 2 or 3, but you can expect bigger leaps after that and faster progress. It will take time, but I think that the direction is very cool where Portmaster is going. And along this journey, I assume, again, nothing is set in stone yet, but I assume that they will a little bit more converge, and that you can expect the Portmaster safing privacy policy to be the IVPN privacy policy in the future. That's
possible.
Yeah,
so as you said...
But very similar at least.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, the first thing for us is to get all the responsibilities that is required to run this over from you, which will take a month probably, but in the next couple of weeks we'll start that process and probably do the most chunk of work in January. That's what I would expect.
Yeah.
But what happens after that, and how we are going to, what kind of roadmap we are going to follow, and that's not ironed out yet. And if you've been following IVPN, you know that we don't like to make promises or empty promises, or set lofty goals and not meet them. We rather like under promise and over deliver. That's our motto in this regard. So I would be not comfortable saying a lot of things about any of the things that we've been planning, because then you can come back and say, oh well, you promised this, that's
happened to us a lot of times.
Yes, I'm very wary of doing that. But what is certain that in terms of like VPN compatibility and how just thinking about the cases where people use both, that I think that would be like a priority to get it right. But what I can promise is that we are going to always like focus on the user needs and just have our ears on the ground and not surprise you, not do anything that raise eyebrows, and just be very very
good stewards.
Good stewards, that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
And I think because you mentioned this, I wanted to make sure that we say this very clear here as well. You mentioned VPN compatibility. That's general VPN compatibility. So you assured me that it won't be Portmaster locking out everybody except IVPN. Of course, because like we always say, like if you want to support our work, if you want to support the work of Portmaster, and if you don't think that SPN is right for you, because that will be a separate tier for some time, consider buying an IVPN subscription, because that is now the money that is fueling Portmaster's development. That is now the power behind continuing Portmaster, continuing also SPN development, But I said for the longest time, SPN is not the right tool for everything. It is, I believe it's the right tool for privacy. But VPNs have their use cases, and they're better in certain regards. And IVPN is doing their best to have the best privacy VPN that's possible. You know, so.
Yeah, but about the compatibility, just to add, or just to reiterate that part, I think it's very important for us to not shut out any competition. We believe in competition, and like if you want to use a VPN that you, for any reason, is better for your needs, you know, in that case, we want to support that. So probably on the compatibility, working on the compatibility and maybe coming up with new features, of course, like IVPN's usage is going to be the primary check and the primary driver of that, but we are not gonna shut out or try to enforce any kind of, or come up with some arbitrary rules to stop that. That's not gonna happen.
And compatibility always is easier when you work on both ends. So I guess you will be able, or of course you will be able to test before you ship, which of course gives a slight advantage. And I shared with the community in the past as well. Others have not been good stewards in regards to this and have broken compatibility and so forth. So compatibility is always a we thing, and under one roof together is easier.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe a little bit about SPN.
Sure. Please.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the SPN part is very interesting for us. This is the part where we are, less confident about the path that we are going to take.
Yeah.
What is certain is we are going to keep operating it, going to be part of Portmaster, and we will be looking at scaling it up and doing some improvements. And in the future, we'll be very happy to hear about ideas and also think about ideas how we can utilize it for other purposes, or some compatibility with the VPNs, or some using it as an exit. We have some ideas, but we are not sure yet. But rest assured, it's not gonna go away or going to be shut down. Or we'd like to use all these pieces, as you said, for the Portmaster as well. It's a part of a toolkit. Yeah. I think we say the same thing for the VPN. Not everyone needs a VPN, and VPN is definitely not sufficient for online privacy. But we would like to, have these kind of different elements for different needs and make it as seamless and as usable as possible. So that's our end vision here. How and when we get there, that's a different.
Yeah. And you need to, of course, look how the team, what they're excited about and stuff like that. And for us, it has been super cool to see and hear that there is a vision, that it's not just like that. You're not just, and I think that's why you wanted to bring it up, that it's not just Portmaster you're excited about, it's also SPN that you're excited about. But being excited about something and then taking the time to understand it, and then taking the time to actually build upon it, this takes time. Yep. And so I think it's good that we're managing expectations here, and if nothing releases very soon, that does not mean that it's not being worked on.
Exactly.
And I think expectations are very important here. And from day one, I think it's already the expertise that IVPN has with all these years. SPN has been running for 3 years now, but IVPN has been operating for 15 years. So it's 5x of experience with different how networks change over time and stuff like that. So the experience and the staff that is responsible for this is has more time. They know their different operations in regards to this. So I feel like this will already be an improvement very quickly. But then again, development-wise, I think I understand this would take probably a little bit longer.
That's right. Yeah. And our staff, we have people so most of our staff has been our colleagues. The majority of them has been with the company for 4 or 5 years or more. Yeah. So we have a very stable team, very tight knit. We work well together, but we have recently also hired people with significant experience in the infrastructure side. We had 2 of these hires in the past year or so. Yeah. And so how we are going to operate this is that some parts of the responsibilities will be taken over by specific people, and they will have the autonomy and they will own that. So this is true for the application, the infrastructure side. I'm going to be taking over most of Rafael's responsibilities, and Daniel's are going to be split between multiple people. But overall, we will have at least 3 full-time staff. Like some people part-time, but if you add everything together, I think it would be at least three people full-time will be working on this.
Yeah.
And one other interesting thing is we are hiring a part-time customer service rep, German and English speaking. So if you're interested, maybe it's a good fit for you.
Yeah, Europe, just maybe.
That's a good point. Yeah, time zones have to align with Europe because we are not completely asynchronous. We are a distributed team, but we work in the European, Amsterdam, Berlin, Budapest kind of time zones. So
And I've read it already, so very good explanation of what it's going to be like. Not for everybody, but the team is super cool. So I think if you read it and apply, I think that's a good idea. That's a super good idea. And I hope that person is also on our Discord then, so that...
they would have like a great advantage in terms of the hiring and also the work, so yeah.
Not just the people on the Discord, but also if you're watching this and if you're applying for that role, I'd like to see you on the Discord as well. So that's what I'm saying here. Okay. You want to go into some more timeline stuff or explain where the next steps...
Can we take a break?
Sure. We have been doing lives at Safing. We have been more active on the Discord over the last year and so. And we have, I think, created a super cool community and culture. How does IVPN think of continuing this? How will this change? How will this adapt? What will come? What will go?
I think we would like to keep everything intact and operating as it is. We've been participating in the Discord in a non-official capacity lurking mode a little bit, and we really think this is a very important part of your whole community and the culture. So Discord will operate as it is, and we will start to appear, and our colleagues but you will stay there as well, of course, as we
already
alluded
said.
to.
Yeah.
About the rest, we are not sure yet. I'm happy to say that we can say we don't know yet, but this is all going to be ironed out in the next couple of weeks or in January. We would like to keep an open line of communication and update everyone about the progress of the handover, our plans, whenever we have a better understanding or about the roadmap or the vision. And how we are going to progress with improving Portmaster, SPN, different integrations. We want to be very transparent and keep everyone in the loop, just like you have done mainly with the lives. The actual way we are doing it might be different.
Yeah.
So it might be a blog post, might be a recorded video or a audio. We haven't nailed that down yet, but what is going to stay is the open line of communication.
Yeah, that's super important. And I assume it's also harder, of course, since the team is bigger. With us and people who have been watching the live streams know, sometimes Danielle and I just sat down, hit live, and we were a little bit stumbling into the live sometimes as well. But because we are everything that happens at Safing happens with us, we were able to do this. And of course, you having multiple responsibilities and having a team to manage as well.
Exactly.
That is a little bit different. So it won't be the same thing. But I think what we can say is we are thinking about doing at least one Q&A live, so where people can sign up. We are not 100% sure when this is going to happen, especially in relation to when this video goes online. But open communications is what we both want and what we want to provide to you as well. So
that's right.
if after the first Q&A tons of questions come in, I think there might be a possibility for a second one and stuff like that.
Of course.
So let us know, and also let us know maybe who you would want us to talk to. You already said Techlore. You're in contact with Techlore. You have relationships with them. We do too. So the new oil, we have a couple, the privacy community. We're both in the privacy community, and even though we started talking like this year, we have both been talking with other people in the privacy community for a long time. So if you would like your favorite person to ask us question, I'm available, and I guess you too. And if we can manage it to do together, probably not in Vienna.
Yeah.
But we will try to make this work.
I think that's a great idea. And just one thing came to my mind while you were talking about this is just to make clear about like my responsibilities and just IVPN as a whole. We consider this a very important piece. As I said, a very important piece in our strategy and where we want to go to. And we have the resources. We are happy to, as we grow, we are happy to hire and expand the teams. This is not going to be just like, okay, we buy Portmaster and like, okay, we will just continue focusing on IVPN and this is just like a afterthought or like a side thing. It's a very important, critical piece of what we are trying to achieve in the next couple of years. So this means it will get the time and the respect and the attention. So yeah, and this includes myself and also the people that are going to be working on it. So yeah, I think that's a very important point that I wanted to get across to you.
Yeah, super cool. Well then, let's go. Final words. What do you want the people to take home after this?
Yeah, take home. Well, I think the best outcome for me is that you watch this video and you understand more about who we are, what we like to do, and why you should or can or willing to trust us. That would be a really nice outcome here. Yeah, also just wanted to again thank you. Again, I know that you've been pouring a lot of energy, hours, emotions, everything into it. We've been building our stuff for a long time, and I had a lot of conversations with Nick about IVPN's journey. I know it's a lot to get to this point. It takes a lot to get to this point. So I think you have done an outstanding job in the past couple of years. So we will continue this work and try to push Portmaster further. So your foundations are in a good hands, and we are building on that.
And I have learned this, and Daniel and I have both slept very well throughout this process because we feel like this is IVPN is the right spot, and so we have had, for people maybe who are interested in this, we have had offers from other which are not as cool like IVPN, and over the years, and this is not something where we have done lightly, and we really think that IVPN is the best to take this and continue this. So thank you for actually holding on to those standards for 15 years already, and pushing privacy and staying true to this. So really cool. And I hope that the people will learn this as well. Again, I have had the chance for the last 6 months, and if people have questions for me as well, I will stay around and you can ask me. And if you trusted me or trust Daniel and me, I think you can extend that trust to Victor and the IVPN team as well. They're very cool people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to continue this work together in the next couple of months, and you will see us together again, and you will see us interacting in a Discord and other places. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Well then, link to the Discord is in the description below, and either write comments with questions, send emails to Victor, to me, to support@safing. Also, all the links are in the description. And looking forward to how Portmaster will evolve in the next months and years. And thank you for listening, watching, supporting our work, and being part of this.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.